Hello guys and welcome to my channel. So today we will be studying about encapsulation in Java. Also we will learn about encapsulation through examples for your better understanding and clarity. So before starting the vlog, please do like, share and subscribe, and also don't forget to press the bell icon. If you have any kind of doubts regarding this topic, please do share your doubts in the comment section so that I can clarify all of your misunderstandings and doubts. So let's start the vlog. So what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but it is a fundamental concept of OOPS, that is object-oriented programming system. So encapsulation is a way of hiding the implementation details of a class from outside access and only exposing a public interface that can be used to interact with the class. Which means encapsulation is nothing but you are hiding some information of a class with another class. Okay, so let's dive into detail and let's understand by example about how we are hiding the information. And also, like here it is written, in Java, encapsulation is achieved by declaring the instance variables of class as private, which means they can only be accessed within the class. So definitely we will in our latter topics we will definitely study about the access modifiers. So if you define a class as private, so you cannot access the property of the class outside the class. So that's where encapsulation comes into account. So let's dive into the next example to better understand about how encapsulation helps us to hide the implementation details of the class. So now let's dive into the example. There are two classes, person and main class. Under main class we have the main method. Java compiler only understands the main method. We have created an object to the person class. Person class has two variables, name, age, whose access modifier is private, and four methods, get name, set name, get age, set age, whose access modifier is public. Which means if we go to the encapsulation concept, then only the four methods of the person class can be accessed from the main class. The two variables name and age cannot be accessed. That is the reason why the access modifier of the two variables has been set as private. So this concept is encapsulation, wherein you are hiding the implementation details or few details of one class from another class, which cannot be accessed from the other class. So this is the output of the previous example, which just now I have explained to you. So you can definitely check to the previous example, and before opening and seeing the output, you can check it yourself. You can do a dry run at your home and you can check that whether your output and the output in my screen is matching or not. So encapsulation is a protective shield that prevents the data from being accessed by the code outside this shield, which means as I've shown you in the example, the person class, there are two variables which are defined as private. So what is happening is those two variables will only be accessed within the person class, but not from the main class. So what you are doing, you are protecting that data which cannot be accessed from outside the class. So technically in encapsulation, the variables or data of a class is hidden from any other class and can be accessed only through any member function of its own class in which it is declared. That means that those variables or methods which are declared as private can only be accessed from within the class, not outside the class. So the data in a class is hidden from other classes using the data hiding concept, which is achieved by making the members or methods of a class private. So as I have shown you in the example, that if you make the the members of a class means the variables, the methods, if you make those as private or declare those variables or methods as private, so definitely that satisfies the concept, or you can say that satisfies the rule of encapsulation, wherein you are hiding some of the details of a class from another class. Okay, so what are the advantages of encapsulation? So one of the biggest advantage of encapsulation is the data hiding. Now whatever data will we think like we can show to, we can give access to another class, we will give, and whatever data we don't want to give access to another class, we won't give. Even if you create an object of that class, then also you cannot access, because only the data which are declared as private, or I cannot say data, but only the members which are declared as private only can be accessed within the class and not outside of the class. Another advantage of encapsulation is increased flexibility. We can make the variables of the class read-only or write-only depending on our requirements. If we wish to make the variables read-only, then we have to omit the setter method like setName, setAge, etc. From the above program. If we wish to make the variables write-only, then we have to omit the get methods like getName, getSet, etc. From the like above program. This means that we have increased flexibility. Like we can make the variables of a class read only or write only. Now setName or setAge means it makes the variables. Now you can read, as I said, that in encapsulation within a class you definitely can perform the activities if it is defined as private. But the setName and setAge, if you want to make a class read only, then you have to omit this, because setName and setAge means you are setting it something, which means you are changing the values of the variables, which means so that makes it not read only but write only. And if you want to make it means if you omit that write only and want to make it read only, you have to give the getName and getAge. That is, you are only fetching the data, not writing the data. So another advantage of encapsulation, freedom to the programmer in implementing the details of the system. Yeah, definitely, because the programmer, they can like implement, or they can like hide, or they can show or give access to whatever data they like to the other class. So definitely this is freedom to the programmer, wherever he likes to give the access, wherever he doesn't like to give the access of the members to another class, so he or she is free to do it. So that is definitely one of the biggest advantage of encapsulation. Of this encapsulation concept. So guys, I would request you to please go through this, pause my video at this point and understand what these this program is, and definitely this is your homework, so you can write it down, you can understand. If you have any kind of confusions, do write it in the in my comments box so that I can solve your query. So let me see how many of you, without looking at the example, without looking at the output, how many of you can solve this program and justify that what exact output this program is going to give you. So this is another example of encapsulation. See here, the age under the class name, the age variable is declared as private, rest are public. So okay, now another thing which let me give you a very clear understanding, that it is clearly written private is using to hide the data. That is, it is hiding the data from this GFG class. Okay, so you will only be able to access this age variable from within the name class. Okay, okay. Now here you have to understand one thing, that there is a setter, that is this. This means when you are declaring a variable as private in a class, then if you use this, which means it signifies that the age variable belongs to this class, which is private only to this class, that is class name. Now, what are the disadvantages of encapsulation? Can lead to increased complexity, especially if not used properly, definitely, because it is hiding the data from another class, means from one class to another class. So definitely which data to hide, which data not to hide. So these are the things which makes encapsulation a bit complex. Can make it more difficult to understand how the system works. Definitely when you are not, when you are hiding few data, you are showing few data. So definitely it makes the system a bit complex, and also the understandability also becomes a bit difficult, because for thousands of lines of codes. So when a programmer is writing a code and another programmer now follows the codes and studies the code, so it becomes a bit complex to understand or to study, or the clarity is not so much. May limit the flexibility of implementations. So when there is a concept of this hiding and showing, so definitely the implementation flexibility also gets hampered a bit. So guys, that's all from my side about encapsulation. I hope you liked the video, and definitely please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. And if you have any kind of queries or doubts, do write in the comment section so that I definitely will clear your doubts so that you can have a better understanding of this concept, because this is a very important topic and a very important concept to understand whenever you will be sitting for an interview, or you will be sitting for any kind of, like, you will be going to your college to understand your concepts about these OOPS concepts. So definitely, if you can watch my video, so this will I think it's my thinking that this will definitely help you out to understand the topics in your college, or even to crack your interviews.